Hello, my friend. Welcome back to the Work Happier podcast with Shodawan. Today, we're talking about signs you're being quiet fired. You might have heard of quiet quitting when this is more into your advantage, where you can kind of go through the motions. You could do little things without actually giving any resignation. Being quiet fired goes the other way, where they're not necessarily being explicit that you're being let go, but your manager, your team, or HR might be doing things that makes you quit without giving you severance. That's the benefit here that the company has of you quitting before they fire you or before something happens, is they don't need to give you any extra benefits. So watch out for these signs and take proactive action to see if you can change the situation or take back your stance of your control in this company. Before I start, remember this. Your manager doing this to you, your team doing this to you, it rarely has anything to do with you and their lack of leadership. They're the ones being petty. They're the ones who don't know how to manage a team properly. They don't know how to be direct with people. So if you are feeling this and you're feeling, man, why am I going through this? What is it about my performance that is causing me to suffer? I like that you're aware, but keep in mind, it's usually the other person who's toxic. Because if they weren't toxic, they would have just told you straight up, this is not working out, or you gotta do XYZ better. Those are the things that good managers do. Quiet firing you is what shitty managers do. So let's start with sign number one. Your manager's attitude starts changing. Let's say they're usually peppy and talk to you and are friendly to you. But if you see a very drastic shift in attitude, if you see them treating your other team members in one way and you in another, that's a red flag. That's a sign to you that some changes are happening. You might have one side of the spectrum where they ghost you, where they don't respond to emails, where they stop having one-to-one meetings with you, where maybe they'd even include you in some of the team meetings. That is one extreme. Or you might have the other extreme too, where they're always on you and checking up on you and being overly critical about minor mistakes. Neither of those are good signs that things are going well. So just be aware of that. I want you to, in these moments, keep track of it, see what's going on from your perspective, maybe even write notes and catalog what each day is like. This will just help you understand if this is a pattern, if this is a one-time thing, or if this is really consistent of who this manager is. Now moving on to point number two, your work becomes lessened and your projects become reassigned. I know at first it sounds like, yo, this is great, right? I'm still getting paid, I'm still on team, but I don't have to do as much work. That's amazing. Because when you do less projects and your name is not tied to any one thing, then there's nothing to celebrate. There's no kudos coming your way. There's nothing for you to showcase that you own something and that you saw the completion from beginning to end. And all of this might also cause some friction between you and team members. They might get resentful that they're now doing your work or that you get to go home because you have less work. It might sound good on paper that, I get to go early and I'm maybe special. But keep an eye out for this, my friend. Your manager is trying to make you feel small and insignificant here. They want to make you feel as if your work doesn't matter. Why? Because they want you to feel bad. They want you to feel bad and think, well, I'm not really adding to the team. Maybe it's better that I quit. Maybe it's better that I go somewhere else. This is what the purpose of being quiet fired is. It's shitty. It's petty. It's toxic. But this is one of the games they play. They take the work, the accomplishments, the projects away from you so you feel less than. Don't let them play the games. And the third sign you gotta look out for is if your manager or HR or anyone in your team asks you to track your hours and give them a daily log of what you're doing. This is kind of their sign. They might not explicitly tell you, hey, we're monitoring you, but this is what they're doing. They're monitoring you to see what you're actually doing, to see the value behind it, and if they want to keep you around, plain and simple. It's unfair, it's unethical, it doesn't feel good, but that is what bad managers do. They will make you feel like you're not doing enough. Even if you have a full plate on your schedule and you're doing great work, if they're asking you for your hours, they feel that there is not enough value exchange, or at least that they're trying to imply that. So again, you feel bad, you're thinking, well, I haven't done enough good for this company, I'm going to give in my resignation. That is technically maybe even what they want. I'm putting this in quotes because not everybody, but that could be. It could also be a sign that maybe a performance improvement plan is in the future, or they want to maybe change teams. You just never know. But typically, if you're getting asked to track your hours, track your daily and weekly tasks, it's not a great sign. At the end of the day, I want you to work somewhere where you feel celebrated, not tolerated. You want to go somewhere where you're shining, where you're using skills that you actually like using, working with people that you actually like. So if these 3 signs sound even remotely familiar to you, take it as a sign for you to take action yourself. It's then up to you to see, do I want to stay in this company and fight back, right? Fighting back might mean you going to another team, telling a senior leader about what's happening, working with other people who have your back to help you find a solution for this. That's you taking ownership of your career in your current spot. Or on the flip side, you decide that, you know what? You don't want to stay somewhere where you're feeling like this. You don't want to be with a manager who makes you feel small. So you can also take this time and write it out. If you're starting to see these 3 signs and you know, okay, well, maybe my days are numbered here, that should be a sign for you. I need to look elsewhere. I need to be proactive. I need to meet people and have my resume ready to go and start looking for other opportunities that are going to be a better fit for you. The last thing that I want you to do if you see these signs being quiet fired is just to quit on the spot. I do not want that for you. Take your time, feel things out, let the emotions die just a little bit, and then have a plan of attack. Plan 1 could be, I'll stick it out and see what I can do to fight back. Or plan 2 is you being on the proactive hunt and seeing other opportunities, meeting connections, and getting your foot in the door for another company. That is it for me, my friend. Those are the 3 signs you're being quiet fired. Of course, I don't want this for you, but again, better for you to see these signs early so you can take action. If you have any questions, if you have any stories of your own that you were quiet fired, please email me and my team at podcast@workhap.com and we will feature you in a future episode. With that said, this is the Work Happier podcast with Shoduan. I'll see you next time, my friend. All right, take care.